the value in networking?
I like in-person dealing more now with the shows.
There was a lot of foul activity going on, and no one's talking about it.
I feel like I see less patience in the hobby today. And I want to get your thoughts on it. When you hear of the large dollar amounts now around PMGs, what do you think?
What it takes for someone to spend that much money on any card.
Fanatics did something tonight I had never heard about. They have a lottery.
We got you on the line.
Oh my goodness, we're both on the line.
I don't think that the fact that they did Be Friends and Jackass is going to have any impact on how they treat sports cards.
So I asked you, FD, since we're rolling with FD.
Let's roll, man. What's up? You got to let the people know who you're rolling with, man.
Well, obviously I'm rolling with FD.
What's up, everybody? Impromptu Thursday. What's going on? This is going to be a treat. I think you're going to really enjoy this. I have Carlo on. I'll come on cards. And Carlo is going to take you through a submission that he just got back from Beckett. And this is going to be lovely. Let me bring him in. Carlo.
Hey, what's up, FD? Rolling.
What's going on? How you doing, brother?
Good, doing good. I've kept this box pretty sealed for like 5-6 days. I've been waiting.
Right.
I kind of cracked it just to let it breathe a little, but I don't really know what's in there. I mean, I know what's in there, but I haven't really looked at it. So we're gonna take a peek together.
All right. So we got Peeps here saying good evening. Sammy, what's up? So Carlo, I want to let you know, Sammy is a young man I met at the premiere show, I think last weekend. He's 11 years old. That was his first show.
Oh, that's great. What's up, Sammy?
So it's my man, Sammy. And Sammy, you will see Carlo out a lot. He's a great person to talk to. If you have questions, feel free to ask him.
Yeah.
Colorado Sports 2, what's up? How you doing? All right, man. So let's jump into the box.
All right. Well, I got this bad boy from Beckett earlier in the week when I hit you up.
Okay.
So I kind of cracked it, like I said, for it to breathe. It'd been at the at FedEx for a while because I was out of town. So it finally came in. So this is like a mix of stuff that I sent in. I've been really getting into sending in like autographed Sports Illustrated and photos. Get them encapsulated.
Yep.
Just the whole game changes when you get them encapsulated by the right companies.
Yes.
So this is what they sent me. All right. So let me give you some numbers. I sent in 10 items. I shot 60%. So 4 of them came back not slabbed, not authenticated. And to be honest, FD, I've gotten used to it. So I'm never surprised when things that I even got signed myself come back unauthentic.
But
that's just a part of the game.
Tell everybody a little bit more about that. How sometimes you can get some stuff signed in person and it comes back unauthenticated.
I'll tell you what, I had a Tony Gwynn card. Remember Tony Gwynn from the Padres? I mean, he's one of the greatest hitters of baseball. Sent it in once to PSA, didn't get authenticated. I sent it in a second time to PSA, came back authenticated. So that just kind of goes to show you how subjective the whole thing is. So, there's been guaranteed autographs that I've sent in that have come back not slabbed. And you always shake your head, but I'm telling you now, I'm kind of getting used to it. So this is the kind of thing they'll send in when you send in a submission for photos, magazines, and cards.
Okay.
So I guess let me give you the not so good news first. Let's see what didn't pass. So I sent in 4 cards. I sent in a Derek Thomas rookie, a Hank Aaron that mind you was slabbed by another company, and I just kind of wanted a PSA slab or a Beckett slab. So, you can always do crossovers at these companies where you send the slab in and then they could choose to either authenticate it, change out the slab, or, give it back. But I kind of sometimes feel like that might play in my disadvantage. I don't know. I kind of took a shot with this card. It was a Hank Aaron. So I had it slabbed. I cracked the slab, sent it to PSA, came back no pass, sent it to Beckett, and I get that sticker up top. So a card like this for me will go into this box I have of, so many cards that can't get authenticated for one reason or another. And I'll just kind of sit on them because I can't present them out there. That's just not how it goes. Yeah. So I either choose to resend it out to someplace else when I feel like, I have the extra cash to do so, or, they kind of sit. So there was my 0 for 1. Here's my 0 for 2, which I still think is for sure real. Derek Thomas rookie card, autographed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I personally got his autograph in 1994, 95 when he was still in the league. This isn't the card. This one I just bought off of eBay thinking it was authentic and shipped it, and it came back not. But I still think this has a chance. So this one will probably go into another box for me, the one that I could reship.
Okay.
And then I got this Iverson slab, which PSA didn't slab. And I turned around knowing it was real, sent it to Beckett, and then Beckett slapped it. So it's a 96 metal Iverson rookie card. So it has no real, other than authenticating the card itself, there's no autograph grade on this.
It's really just saying that it's real.
Yep. Yeah. Sometimes the autograph grade costs an extra $10-15, and I was like, it's already missed once. I can't put so much money. It all kind of adds up. So I decided to just try to get it authentic, and it came authentic. So those are those three. And then now I got some photos. Now these are totally different than sports. So these are for the movie buffs. I got 2 movie buffs.
Okay.
All right. So the first one is, let's see, let me take it out of this. First one is a Denzel Washington Virtuosity signed postcard. Oh, yeah, right. So
that's a postcard?
Yeah, it's like a promo card from the film.
Okay. Wow, that thing looks cool, man.
Right?
And he has such a free-flowing autograph.
Yeah, and I got his autograph a long time ago, so I definitely can tell better than others which ones are real. So this one I picked up right off of eBay raw, shipped it in, came back. This one was kind of a surprise because anything you buy raw off of eBay, you're taking a big risk regardless.
True.
And then this one I actually got myself in the mid 90s at the Jay Leno show.
So you had Eddie Murphy sign something?
Yeah, he pulled over. So the limos used to come right around the back of the entrance to NBC Studios. Mm-hmm. And, a lot of these guys are super nice. There was only a couple of us out there, and they were very nice. He was super nice. So I'm glad this one came back slabbed. And look, this one, I already had it authenticated by Global.
Mm-hmm.
But, there's something about getting these guys encapsulated for me.
And that Eddie Murphy autograph, man, that's a hard autograph to get.
Yeah, I mean, just think about it. It was like 7 years ago. And
so where have you, let's walk through this now. Where have you stored that piece for 26 years? And how did you store it? Because it looks good.
So I just stored this in, one of those plastic, one of those plastic holders, yep, and put it in a 3-ring binder. And I had a bunch of these that never moved. They were just in a box. And, just like a lot of people during the pandemic, it kind of just sprung something in me that I should just start looking at these stuff. And I did some research and realized that there's certain things like this that you can do that, really keep it really secure. It gives it value. People don't question if it's authentic or not, whether you're going to keep it or not. So I think for me, timing was pretty good this time where I brought a bunch of stuff back.
That's a nice piece, man. Yeah, Pete says sometimes I think A or the equivalent destination is a perfect card. It's also good to have Gold Label Sports here. Gold Label, let's go. It's always good to have you here, sir. Yep.
Sweet. Okay, let's see what's next. So it continues. They still put rubber bands all around it.
All right. So when you get notification that this is coming to you, do you get some kind of printout or something that's shipped to you that tells you what was graded, maybe what some of the grades are? Because I know on the card end you do, but do you do it for these pieces as well?
Yeah, I do it for these, like, which was weird. There's a Kevin Garnett back there I did it for, and it got a 9 on the grade. Usually, FD, I won't send anything in that I don't think is a 10.
Okay.
Because there's just way more appeal to 10s. So I sent it in thinking it'd get a 10, it got a 9, but for some reason it's not labeled on the slab. It's only when you check the certificate online you see it. So I haven't really I've seen it on PSAs. They have the grade on front, but Beckett, for some reason, I haven't seen him yet.
Okay.
All right, let's see what this is. So this looks like something that didn't come back authentic, which I had also gotten authenticated by Global. Again, I got it authenticated, sent it in, and it didn't come
Those people out there are not familiar with Global. Global was a very popular, well-used authentication source. I used to go to autograph shows, and you could get stuff authenticated by Global as well.
Yeah, and the Global stuff I got, it was all recent. It wasn't. I did it this past year with one of the local card shops.
Okay.
But yeah, for some reason, they choose not to authenticate all of them. So this looks like something that didn't pass. Let's see what this is. Yeah, so here it is. It was an Iverson Beckett that I got FD at the sports arena playing the Clippers down in the tunnel. I mean, I was such a young kid. I was able to snoop around there, and he was really nice. But that's why I was like, oh, no brainer. I got it authenticated once when I was first learning the game, and then I was like, no, let me get it slabbed. There's no slab for this. So
interesting.
And this one,
we'll also say that when players are moving around, sometimes when you see them on the move at a baseball stadium, basketball stadium, their autograph may be a little bit, their stroke may be a little bit different. And I know I really get into autographs. So like Mark McGuire, for instance, I just know it's off the top of my head. He had a stadium autograph. He also had a different autograph that if you saw him at a show and he's sitting at a table and how he signed his name. Kobe Bryant has the same thing. When Kobe was on the move, he signed a KB, but it still had the same stroke of the Kobe Bryant or the Kobe that you would see. So Carlo is getting stuff signed in person. He's sending it in, and people are saying it's not real, but it's real. Someone signed that standing right in front of him.
Right. Case in point, this was a very difficult autograph. At least he was back in the day. Patrick Ewing.
He's still today. It's hard to get a Patrick Ewing autograph. It's hard to get one. Hold on here, Carlo. We got some
worries.
Effects going on. Hold on here. Let me shut this down. All right, go ahead, sir.
So Ewing has certain parts of his autograph that are very, very important to know if it's real or not, like the G and what he does right here with the E. So I got him. You know when I got this? Do you remember MTV used to have a Rock and Jock game?
Yeah.
So I think it was at Poly Pavilion in UCLA. And it was me and a couple of my buddies. And lo and behold, out of nowhere, Ewing walks up. And you're like, oh my gosh, he's never going to sign anyway. He walked into the television trailer and he just stood there and reluctantly signed, the three, me and my two buddies that were there. And so I thought, easy. This one I have to get encapsulated. I mean, this one deserves it, but no go the first round. I mean, I'm probably going to send it to PSA in a little while because, I'm confident that one of them is going to know that it's authentic. All right. So those are the no's. And then I have a couple more. Yeah, I've got these guys. These ones are going to be really nice. All right. So here's the first LA icon.
Magic Johnson.
Magic, Newsstand, his business, Sports Illustrated. So I don't know.
It's a cool cover.
Yeah, cool cover, right? And for me, he's done so much in terms of business that like basketball helped him create all these amazing jobs and everything, and how much he's done in business. So it was kind of cool. I saw this Newsstand, at a very good price. So, and I always have to take into account what it's going to cost to send this away and get it graded. It costs money to ship first, then you have to pay your own shipping to get it back. You have to box it up. Sometimes that costs money to make sure it's super secure. And then obviously the autograph itself costs if you're going to buy it, not get it. So there's a lot that goes into it. So if anyone wants to get into like buying these kinds of things and getting them authenticated, you have to put an extra $35 aside for each one, just for the simple authentication. So
what's so cool with those after they get slabbed? I mean, that's like a piece of art right there.
Yeah.
You have stuff behind you that's on display. I mean, that just looks really cool, man.
Yeah, and look, and I also collect sports cards, but this is kind of given me even a bigger avenue to go back to when I was a kid. And it's something different than what everyone is kind of doing. There's definitely a community doing this as well, but it's interesting to see like how many of these are newsstand and they're super rare and they're actually signed. So it's kind of a cool, different type of hobby to kind of go after. And this, of course, you can't have Magic without having the captain. So this one is a 1983 Sports Illustrated newsstand signed. But both of these, well, okay, so this one, FD, I purchased both. This one comes with a JSA certificate.
Okay.
And JSA is basically the third biggest company to do authentications. It's PSA, Beckett, JSA, and SGC is pretty big as well.
Yep.
But don't be surprised if you buy something JSA and they still don't authenticate it. That's happened too. So, you almost have to really know and make the educated guess. Like you feel like it's real. You also feel like someone else thinks it's real. You get a couple of different educated guesses and then you kiss it goodbye. See what happens.
I can't say for every autograph, but I would say a lot of autographs that you get into, like Jabbar, you're talking about Magic Johnson. I feel strongly after being in autographs for quite a piece of my life that I could walk up and look at something and feel like you, Carlo. You feel pretty good about it. If you didn't get that signed in person, that this is a real autograph. Like I get into how letters connect. What's the flow? Does it look like if that athlete is right-handed? Does it look like somebody right-handed signed that, or did someone left-handed sign that? What's the slant? Every player has a certain slant to their angle to their autograph. If you get it, just like if someone is grading a card, and you get into the nuances of what makes that an 8, 9, or a 10, and you send in stuff that checks your boxes. Same way with autographs. If you're really into the nuances of how Mickey Mantle signed, and I like to look at fakes to know what's out there. And if I see that fake, what am I looking at? Why is it fake? And because like Mickey Mantle had this half moon in his M and a slant a certain way, and his A was a certain way, and his N looked like a V. If you're getting into the nuances of that, you could pick up something that's very much authentic. Maybe even at a cheaper price if you're willing to take that risk.
Absolutely. And I think for me, I can't help but just keep looking at Jordan autographs, like different ones. And, 95% of them are fake. So, you see so many different types that are not real. And then you see some that aren't authenticated that look super real. And then I think, man, that's probably real. But Jordan had an exclusive deal with Upper Deck. So
for years.
Yeah.
And on a person like Jordan, people should know. You could get a Jordan autograph and then get it authenticated by like a Beckett or something. But really that piece of paper from Upper Deck, that serial number, the number that's on the sticker, that's on the item itself, that's almost worth more than the piece itself. I tell people all the time, keep up with your paperwork, because those high-level autographs like that, the consumer who's buying it expects for an Upper Deck authentication letter to come out.
Absolutely.
When you're talking about the piece. And there's only Tiger Woods, Michael Jordan,
LeBron James.
Yep. those players, I've been on eBay before, and I've seen some stuff that looks real that was signed by like Jordan, LeBron, somebody else. It's just hard to take that risk because it has to be real.
And I'll tell you,
for so much. Mickey Mantle is for so much. Hank Aaron, which you pulled out earlier, Willie Mays is. I've been places where people are selling fake Willie Mays. So.
Yep. And just like the players you named, those guys, FD. Now, not everyone's a $30 autograph authentication. Jordan, $250.
Oh yeah.
Tiger, $100, I think. Kobe, $200. LeBron, $200. So if you buy a raw one, you want to send it in, and you also don't want to send in a LeBron autograph, pay $200, and let it sit there for 3 months. So you're going to have to spend the 5-day express to make sure the thing comes back safely to you. Now you're into it $300-400. So that's the type of math you have to do when you buy raw ones or ones that aren't slabbed, where I'm going to spend, a Jordan. I don't even want to. Jordan autographs cost $2,000-3,000 easy.
Well, a Jordan autograph jersey is $14,000.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
So if you see a really nice one, you're like, ooh, $600, $800. Not only could it be fake, it's going to cost you $500 to get it back. So, and like I have these guys. These are the types of things that you get. Like JSA comes with a letter. Like if it's a really expensive piece from one of those guys, they send out like a letter that's notarized, their way of saying it. Or JSA also has these tickets. So if someone, sells you something with just the sticker, not the ticket, it still could be real. But these are the things that you mentioned, FD, that people have to really know where they're at.
True.
So, all right. So, the last one I got is another legendary center.
Oh, Hakeem the Dream, shimmy. Look at that. Very nice.
So the Dream, I got Hakeem same during that 1 or 2 seasons when I was like chasing these guys when I was like in high school. Me and my buddy snuck up from this one Ivy at the Clipper game. All the players used to park in this fenced out area, and the team bus would go there. There's this Ivy, so we walked up the Ivy, and there's Hakeem. Very nice, super nice guy. And we were kids, so he was happy to sign, and that was that. And so kept this one the same way for all these years.
Yeah, such a nice autograph to me.
Yeah, clean, sharp.
Yep.
So that was the haul. That was it.
Carlo, I appreciate you sharing this, man.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for putting the form out there.
Oh yeah. I got a question for you though.
Sure.
So Beckett showed yesterday at the National their potential, what their new slabs look like.
Oof. Yeah.
Have you seen this?
I saw it on Instagram. I mean, first reports are not looking great.
Now, let me try to pull this up here for those who may not have seen this. What do you think of them? What do you think of this concept?
Look, I think if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They
came out with a new logo.
Yeah, they came out with a new logo, and it's tough. I mean, it kind of makes me think that it's not for the best reasons, but that's just me. I thought they had a really nice logo moving, like clear. The encapsulated slabs are really nice. The silver, the clear, and they kind of adjusted. Before it was like black and whitish, but now they're going a whole different way. So it's a business, and they're doing it. I mean, they might. You never know. They might really get hit for it, but it might be a success too. Maybe the young audience that likes to, open wax and stuff likes the Beckett, the B with the star, and yeah.
Hold on, let me pull this up. So this is on Beckett's Instagram. I hope everybody can see this. and see if I can get closer.
Yeah.
You can see there's the new B in their logo. You can see there's a new black label, a new what a 10 will look like, or a regular label. It just has I'm a person, man, where I embrace change, right? I always ask the question in my head, like when things start changing, how does the market take that?
Yeah.
I think if their process is the same, I would hope that the slab looking different doesn't change the value of the card. But I gotta believe also, put my business hat on, that Beckett's got to be backing us up with some other stuff.
Yeah, but I think this industry's driven by the collectors, right? And if the collectors join together, they could say, wow, these slabs are fantastic. Everyone buy them. And then it blows up. But if the initial reports, and the culture now is they don't like first. They don't, it's a dislike. Then they learn to like it maybe.
Yeah, true.
So, anytime you release something, I mean, I think Beckett maybe saw all these different companies creating these new slab looks and colors.
Especially CSG.
Yeah, CSG changed it up quick. They're like, ooh, the green and white's not working. Change it. So maybe like their brand's being a little diluted by these other companies, and they feel like they need to like rebrand a little.
And probably those two companies are CSG to me, and SGC are probably really squeezing Beckett.
Yep, because SGC, the price is pretty good and the return is quick. And
you've seen this $10 million Mickey Mantle card.
Yeah, you know how huge that is for them, the 9.5.
And then you also saw the Brady rookie in the CSG.
I did not see that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, okay. I have to check that out.
I told people about. I kid you not, and I'm not like I'm the biggest brain in the hobby, right? But I told people a while ago, if you want to affect your brand equity on a slab, right, get some high grade cards in those slabs. Let people envision that. Let people see. Oh man, they got a $10 million Mickey Mouse. Now we know about the Hornet swag now, so SGC is no joke. We already know that.
Yeah.
But let me see some other cards from more recent years and some very popular players in the hobby, some legends in this slab. You see the Brady, it's like, wow, man, this is okay. So maybe now I'm gonna send my cards in that I think that are 4-figure, 5-figure, 6-figure cards. I'm gonna send those in. Yeah. And I can envision that as instead of before, it's just PSA, it's just Beckett.
Yeah, I mean, and think about an SGC with that mantle card. Imagine how much vintage just turns and goes that way because of that.
That's right.
Because
they already had a clamp at one point on vintage.
Right, with the Wagner.
Made a point that's letting them know that clamp is getting away.
Right.
Let's solidify ourselves.
Yep, it's interesting. Yeah, but PSA is still the main. I don't know. I think still PSA is still holding up with all the collectors, new collectors. But you never know. It could always change.
It can change because we saw before with Beckett and PSA were pretty much the same in market value, and now they're not. And one thing they're doing at the Mint, which is at the show that's going on right now, National, is that they're letting you walk up and hold a mantle card.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. Smart, man. It's smart.
Yeah.
It's really smart. So.
Yeah. So hey, FD, one last thing. I'm not sure. I can't tell how many viewers there are at all.
There are 11 viewers here right now.
Okay, so 11 viewers. We've reached this point.
Oh yeah.
I wanna do a quick autograph card slab giveaway to the 11 viewers that are there. I want to show you one card. I'm gonna hide the name. And the first person who writes in who that player is, I'll be happy to ship the slab to them if they just hit me up on Instagram and give me their address, and I'll just ship it to them free of charge, for listening with us. So here we go. Ready?
Let's see, drum roll if you know who this player is. Who is that? Let me see. I haven't seen anybody come through with the answer yet. Did everybody see that? See that again. Does anybody know who that player is? Rick Lau, Tim Brown.
Yeah, all right. Winner. So authentic autograph card coming at you, Rick.
Rick, let us know. Are you on Instagram? I think it's a wonderful car. I really love Tim Brown's autograph.
Yeah, I got this at training camp. It was like fans meet the players kind of thing in the beginning of the year, back when, it was Tim Brown, Tom Rathman, all these old school players. But Rick, if you got Instagram or
he's on Instagram, rloud34. Yeah, hit up Cmon.
Yeah, follow Cmon Collectibles on Instagram. Send me a message and I'll ship this card to you.
That's very cool. Very cool, Cmon. We got some people giving Rick some shout outs. Nice one, Rick. Congratulations, Rick. That a boy. Good stuff, man.
Cool.
Hold up. Money Mike asked a question here.
Okay.
Is the National overrated with social media? Excuse me.
I mean, look,
I wouldn't say it's overrated.
With social media, the thing is, you can always turn it off. Sometimes you can have like a 2 accounts where one's just for sports cards, one's for football, whatever. And maybe you could choose to stay away for a weekend. But it's tough to sift through it. You're right. There's a lot of people posting content, but in a way, that's what kind of has kept this hobby going, is all the content creators. So, I kind of enjoy it, but I can also see if it's overwhelming,
And one thing I'll say too, Money Mike, is that, like, I know people that are there. We all know people that are there, right? So sometimes if I want to turn off the social media side, I may just text or call someone. Hey, how's it going? Get their synopsis. And there's some people, not saying that people are, I don't trust their opinion. There's some people that they're going to tell me what they're seeing. And I talk to them and I'm good.
Yeah.
And I only look at stuff on a need basis, or if I want to understand something, or like that 52 Mano. There's some real cool things going on there.
Yeah, and you got to think.
I'm pretty sure we haven't even got to the weekend. There's going to be some announcements this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, this is like a Super Bowl week for collections.
That's right.
So just imagine every February when the Super Bowl is going on, quite honestly, how much you get kind of tired of all the coverage, and then the game starts, and you're like, man, there's still a week left until this is done. But yeah, I mean, this is what everyone wants right now, because whoever's not there can see all the good stuff that's there. Like you mentioned, that mantle. I mean, that thing, it's the biggest card, period. Like, so, that you get things like that at the National. But maybe next year I'll try to get out there. It's like, Atlantic City, there's so much going on that it's tough to book a week out, but you never know.
Yeah. I mean, it's, like I always say, to me, this is just my humble opinion. I know there's a lot of people feel like a lot of FOMO, a lot of pressure. I've even talked around about in my family about this. I know people are feeling this right now. But no one can make everything. No one can be at every concert. We can't be at every baseball game. We can't be at every football game. So there's going to be nationals that come. You may have family stuff going on. You may have some other stuff going on. But like we're talking about here, it helps promote the hobby, push it forward, allow companies to showcase their items, give announcements on what's coming next. It's really the Super Bowl, like Cmon just says. The Super Bowl.
Yeah, and you feel like you're there when you have like Ultimate Pastime and Sasha and Coleman cards and all these guys that have actually taken the trip over there and have booths and stuff, and they're showing their W's and not so W's or whatever, just moving stuff. It's kind of fun content wise. It's not bad. It's the way of the new world. So you don't have to eat it up, but the good thing is you can always turn it off.
And it's getting bigger and bigger. Just from what I saw, like some pictures, the Whatnot booth is huge, impressive. We're going to see more of that. I used to go to Nationals. Or let me say, I used to go to the National because people hate the S. Years ago, and it wasn't like this. It has changed. The social media wasn't big, or there was no social media back then. Yeah. So the National was going on. We're not sitting here looking at pictures and video or anything like that. And it was more of a memorabilia show, like the autographs. I'll come on this show. That's what people were in line getting signed. Cars were very small. They were there, but they were much smaller. And I can remember going to autograph shows and being so focused on the autographs. Like this was even back when I remember when Anthony Davis was a rookie. Around that time, second year, I went to the National, and I only went over to the cards to take a break from signings. You know, if I had an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours in between, that's not what this is now. This is totally different.
Totally
you
different.
have 130 some athletes sign autographs.
Yeah.
You got a lot of people that will never enter that autograph pavilion that's there for cards.
And FD, did you see the PSA line for submissions for cards?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, look, you know, people always talk about how the hobby is dying or it's getting bad or whatever. It's just like the rest of the world with stocks and NFTs and other things. Things have to fluctuate. Prices have to come up and down. And I know earlier, like last year, the year before, whatever, the prices were out of the roof. But that was just a whole different kind of a thing. There's plenty of people that are involved and interested in the hobby and collecting any kind of hobbies in general. So it's kind of crazy to see how backed up PSA's line is, but it just goes to show you how many people are getting involved and doing all those things.
Well, what was interesting is some of the cards that were turned around yesterday by PSA.
Yeah.
There was some big value cards turned around. The one Messi card was very impressive. The collector moved it from a BGS 9.5 10 autograph. It's a 101 Messi gold to a PSA 1010.
Ooh.
That's a huge move.
Wow.
That's a huge card.
That's the risk though, right?
Yeah.
Now, if it comes back a 910 and then it's, you know, the thing that kind of makes me wonder about that is it's just someone like, you know, you or myself that have the experience are over there and they're getting paid to grade. Mm-hmm. So at one point or another, you got to think your own nerves affect how you grade certain things.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know, if a guy's not having such a good day, that might be a 9, but maybe they're on the spotlight. That 10 maybe it was already a 10, but then, so for Beckett to have a 10, it has to be beyond pristine, right?
Yeah, beyond.
Yeah.
And then a black label is like very rare.
Yeah. Crazy. So,
but Carlo, this has been amazing, man. I mean, I could talk on and on, but
cool.
This has been amazing. I want to have you back on one time to have an interview just to learn, for everybody to learn more about you.
Sure.
Maybe we'll try to schedule that. We're at the end of July now. Maybe we'll try to schedule it in August or September. Just to talk to you. Maybe you pull out some cards in your collection, talk to people about how you've been setting up at shows and just your entire career. Because to me, you have a very interesting career of collecting from childhood all the way up to now. It's quite interesting. Like you've been on the move. You met a lot of people. You've had
I've made some mistakes, FD. I've made some mistakes too. You know, just mistakes in the hobby where certain things you're not supposed to like touch. As in, like the one big mistake I made was Sports Illustrated. I used to collect a lot of them, get autographed. For some reason, I started cutting the front pages. So I have a bunch of cover pages signed, but not the whole magazine.
No, but I remember, come on, when people were doing that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember in the hobby now. No, I'm not trying to take away the I messed up, but I remember when people were doing that. I remember that because they felt like it was easier to store just the front cover.
Right. And people do collect just the front covers, like, you know, because I have some really nice ones that, you know, from legends in the past. But I always think, man, I should have just kept those in a nice box to clean the way they were. But yeah, you know, along the way, you just got to learn and make adjustments. So
and things change because I remember, like we talked about comic books, we talked about Sports Illustrated without the mailing sticker and newsstands, right? I can remember when I was young and I was collecting comic books, you wanted the comic book store version of the comic book, not the newsstand. Everybody would tell you, oh, don't go to the newsstand. You want to buy it here. But in 2022, newsstand editions are worth more than a comic book store edition.
Absolutely.
That's because a lot of them were not purchased. They were thrown away, and it's driving the price up. So if you're going out and you're looking for a very rare comic book and you find a newsstand edition of that comic book, you just found something.
Yeah.
But 25, 30 years ago, it wasn't like that. Prices were very different.
Yeah. And with comic books, FD, the CGC company that does all the grading, you'll see them everywhere. I've done Sports Illustrateds. They take forever, but they look great when they're newsstand. And my brother used to collect back in the day, and he's just starting to find out that like you could get them graded and slabbed and have them really nice and stuff. So it's interesting to like look at the comic. It's so big, the comic book side of it.
Huge.
Huge.
And Beckett has a comic book grading service.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
It's the second most popular one besides the major one. But yeah, there are comics graded there. And I've asked people, like, just like you got the competition between PSA, Beckett, SGC, like, why does a person, and there have been graders that have moved from company to company, but it's just because that some people believe I'm going to go this route, some people believe I'm going to go that route.
Interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so they just had a autograph series where they do a witnessing at CGC, and it's like the writer of the comic book. So they witness you have a certain amount of time, you send it in, you pay a certain fee, the writer or the illustrator signs it, they slab it right there, put a different color label on it, and it's a part of their autograph sessions that they do.
Yes, CBCS is under Beckett.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I never knew that.
So you'll say, well, it's all good, bro. We're here for each other, bro. You know what I'm saying? So you'll see comics graded by this company as well as other companies, and then you may see a little bit of a price difference. But I always say, if I walked up on a very rare comic and it was CBCS, I'm probably going to expect what I see, look, ask some questions, make sure I understand how different grading levels compare to others. Like we talk about PSA 9, a Beckett 9.5, a Beckett 9. How does all that compare there? I'm probably still purchasing that comic. Now, will I switch it over? Things of that nature. Also know that CBCS does different things with autographs on a comic book than some other companies. Some companies, they have to have a representative there, Carlo, watching you sign the book in order for them to give it a certain label. Yeah. Other companies will do just like what you just sent in. They'll authenticate the autograph once it's already been signed.
Right, like CGC has a different color labels. Like if you just send the comic, it's a blue label. If you send something autographed, they just basically, they put a green label on it and they say it was written on as if they weren't witnesses to it.
Yep.
So then the witness ones are yellow.
You get a gold label.
Right.
And if the comic book has been restored, and some older comic books and values will still have people, even if they're restored, you get a purple label. So the more you know all that kind of stuff. But we went to the Ontario Comic-Con, and they had representatives with the people signing comic books, and then people were taking the comic books right to be submitted to be graded.
Right.
So it's there.
Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah. There's different ways for sure. You just got to keep your eyes open. A lot of people post on Instagram, like, a couple of weeks down the line, there's a signing here or there's a submission, there. So if you follow some of the right people in the hobby, you get all that information. So yeah, it's been definitely a learning experience for me.
Well, you have a great collection here, and the stuff that you just opened is exciting.
I appreciate it. Thanks, FD. And you've always been great, man. I mean, it's been great. You've been cool with all the people in the hobby. I really appreciate you putting me down here with you.
Thank you.
It's great.
Well, you'll be back on here again. This is just the first time to What's to Play. You've been in some episodes already talking. You'll be back to What's to Play. We'll break some other stuff down very soon.
Great.
Well, sir, I appreciate you, man. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, FD.
Yep. You have a good day. Yep.
You too.